Let's see alkanes, the homologous series. So alkanes, the name will end with ane. So 1 carbon, methane, 2 carbon, ethane, 3 carbon, propane, 4 carbons, butane, 5 carbons, pentane, 6 carbon, hexane, and so on. So the full structural formula should contain all the bonds. So I'll do one example for you. So let's go for pentane. Full structural formula, all the bonds. So I draw all the 5 carbons and then fill everything with the hydrogen atoms here. And then for the structural formula, so I will be writing the group of atoms that I have. So I have CH3, CH2. So if you count the CH2, there's 1 CH2, 2 CH2, and 3 CH2 groups. So CH2 3 times, and then it ends with a CH3. Okay, so this is the structural formula. So instead of me writing, it's not wrong, I could also write CH3, CH2, 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 and then CH3. It's not wrong to write this. It's just that I'm saving space. Instead of writing 3 times CH2, I'm just writing CH2 3 times. Okay, and the molecular formula is just how many atoms there are. So C5, H12, and the general formula for alkanes is CnH2n plus 2. This, I think you're familiar from IGCSE. So if you need to find, let's say, the 22nd member of the alkanes family, so N is 22, so 2n plus 2. So 2n plus 2 would be 46. So the member is going to be C22H46. So you can find the formula, the molecular formula of any member from the general formula. Okay. Now, when alkanes occur as side chains, they are also given a different kind of name. So when you have 1 carbon as a side chain, it's called a methyl chain. When you have 2 carbons, it's called an ethyl side chain. When you have 3 carbons, it's called a propyl side chain. Okay? Now, let's see how we name alkanes when we have side chains. Now, the position of the side chain is indicated by the number which the carbon atom on the longest chain has. So, the first step when you're naming a chain, a branch chain, this is called a branch. So, when you're naming a branch chain, the first thing you should do, you should find the longest chain. So, this is the longest chain. It's apparent. So we're going to label the longest chain by using numbers. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we're labeling the carbon atoms. Now you can start from the left or you can start from the right. It does not matter. So one student can count like this. Another student can count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so the longest chain has 6 carbon, so it's going to be a hexane molecule. Now we have to locate that side chain. The side chain has 1 carbon, therefore it's called a methyl. So this is methyl. Now we also need to locate that methyl. We need to say on which carbon atom on the hexane it is found. So we know it's methyl hexane. We need to label its position. So one student can say it's found on 2nd carbon. So 2-methyl. Another student can say it's 5-methyl hexane. Okay, because so depending on how the student is counting. However, you have to be careful. The numbering that you're assigning should be the lowest possible. So 2 is the lowest number that the methyl can be allocated. So 5-methylhexane is wrong. So the answer is 2-methylhexane. Now, any number should be separated from any word using a hyphen. Okay? So 2 hyphen means that the methyl is found on the second carbon, 2-methylhexane. Now, if there's more than one of the same alkyl chain, we need to indicate how many there are. So if there's 2-methyl, it will be dimethyl. If there's 3-methyl, it will be trimethyl. Okay? So at the location, you will also specify the location of the side chain. Let's see examples. It's going to be easier. So we have that chain. So first, let's look at the longest chain. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 1, 2, 3. So this is the longest chain. It has 4 carbons. So 4 carbons means it's going to be a butane. Okay? Now let's look at the side chains. We have one side chain here, two side chains. So you have dimethyl, and then you have another methyl on this chain here. Okay, so there's 3-methyl in all. So if there's 3-methyl, it's going to be trimethyl. Okay, so trimethyl butane. Sorry, pentane. Sorry, it has 5 carbons. Here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. See, you should count very carefully. So trimethylpentane, and we now need to locate these 3 methyls. Okay, so we're going to give numbers where they are found. So this methyl is found on carbon number 2. This methyl is also found on carbon number 2, and this methyl is found on carbon number 3. So it's 2, 3 hyphen. So the numbers are separated by commas, and the words and numbers are separated by a hyphen. Okay? So 2, 3 hyphen trimethylpentane. When you look at the name, you can easily see that there is 3 methyl groups on a pentane chain, and the first methyl is on the second carbon, second methyl is on the second carbon, and the third methyl is on the third carbon. So 2, 2, 3 trimethylpentane. Now again, the numbers that you're given should have the lowest possible values. So you cannot have 1, 2, 3, 4. You cannot have 4, 4, 3 trimethylpentane. The numbers are too high. You should have the lowest possible numbers. Let's try this one together. So longest chain, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So again, it's a pentane. 3 carbons. So 3 methyl chains. So methyl, so trimethyl, because you have 3 of them. And then you have 2, 3, 4 hyphen trimethylpentane. When you are naming, you have to be very careful about the commas, the hyphen, and the naming. You cannot be you cannot go through these, you cannot miss any steps. You have to be very careful. Let's try one more together, and then you're going to continue on your own. So here again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it's again a pentane. So pentane. Let's see the groups that we have. You have 1 methyl here. And here you have 1 ethyl. Okay, Now, methyl, ethyl, which one will come first? Normally, we put the groups in alphabetical order. So, ethyl will come first, then methyl. Okay, now we put the numbers associated to the methyl and the ethyl. So again, smallest number possible. So ethyl is on the third carbon, so 3 ethyl. So remember, words and numbers are separated by hyphen. 3 hyphen ethyl hyphen 2 hyphen methyl pentane. So the methane, the methyl chain is on the second carbon here, and the ethyl chain is on the third carbon here. Okay, so this is the proper naming here. So you're going to try to name a few compounds that we'll then see together.